was the moment we had waited for, planned for, hoped for. The moment was obviously bigger for us than anyone else in the building, as I was treated like cattle at the Dutchess County Fair, labeled, prodded, measured, and moved by a hurrying sheepdog. The room was dark, cold. A lone lady sat squatted on a short stool as her eyes mechanically read off my name, details, and the instructions as she pointed with the tilt of her pen to a lowly gown. The thundering slam of the door behind us brought her eyes to ours. Our hands clenched until pale, our expressions hopeful, but our eyes filled with fear. Her posture, her tone, the speeding time, it all changed. She simply spoke in a crackling tone. "First time?" We shook our heads with a forced yes as she guided us through the steps as a kindergarten teacher would her students on the first day of school. I undressed and changed, alone and bare, in another room, as I could hear the mumble of my husband's voice to the woman explaining our nervousness. I entered the room, watching my bare feet on the linoleum floor grow cold, to only look up and see the same admiring, affectionate expression in my husband's eyes as I did as I saw him through my veil. I sat as instructed, but that is about all I heard. I took in my surroundings. An underlit cabinet light broke up the darkness of the room. The counter held cotton balls and popsicle sticks, although I wondered why. I could feel my heart pounding in my ears. I wondered what would happen if today wouldn't go as planned. I glanced at my husband as he stared at the nurse with stern attention. We were strong. We loved each other. We'd make it. I was drawn back as I heard my name called. I lifted my gown as instructed. The gel was applied and the cold transducer made contact with my slimy skin. We heard nothing. I looked at Kyle for hope in the silence. His face only held a phony smile. The nurse began to talk, and I had to use all my power to hold back my thoughts and the knot in my throat to understand what she was saying. It was something about being young, how it happened to a lot of women. I wasn't pregnant. A tear began to form as I tried to swallow it back. My dreams of us were gone, vanquished. I felt silly, for I had already told my family and friends. Then, as Kyle squeezed my hand, the nurse began to talk about an alternate interior method. My hopes diminished. I shrugged. Why not? I laid back, my body exhausted, as I stared up at a blank screen, only to be brought back to reality by the steady, fast beat of a heart. My wet eyes blurred into focus of what seemed to be a mix of a melted gummy bear and a tadpole. My fondest memory, though, is seeing how Kyle looked at the baby as he did me that day through my veil.